So you did some awesome work on that narwhal.
Thanks, man. I'm not.
You gave him the fire mane.
Yeah, man.
He's getting ready to set the world ablaze.
He is.
In the back.
So he's doing. His name is Daryl.
Daryl?
Yep.
Daryl, the fire-breathing unicorn.
Daryl Corn.
Daryl Corn. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Inside the Lines. My guest this week is the amazing Brandon Lackey, owner of Lineup Room Recording Studio here in Baltimore. Brandon, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
I'm Mr. Musk.
So, as we start off each episode, we have to decide on what we are going to color this week.
All right.
So, we're getting a little thin on our options here, but we still have a few to choose from.
I will not color a unicorn.
Well,
I refuse. I'm just kidding.
Unfortunately, that is all we have in this this book here.
Shout out to Crayola for donating only unicorn related material. They were like, you hit them up for the sponsor, and they were like, okay, look, we're interested.
Yeah.
But we have 1,000 unicorn related materials that no one wants.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I have this huge box at my house. It's just unicorn. So it's gonna be this for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
everyone needs to be prepared.
Yeah, I like the narwhal.
You want the narwhal?
Well, let's see what
we have.
There's just so much going on the other ones. You know what I mean?
We have a rooster here. That's the last one. Is our rooster.
Yeah.
You're gonna go narwhal?
Let's go narwhal.
Okay, cool.
My son will like that.
We'll do it up. So Brandon, you've been here at Lineup Room for
Daniel.
how long now?
Daniel.
How long now?
See, this is okay. I've been here at Lineup Room. This location probably 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so you're the type that you're gonna throw it all out.
I think I am.
Okay.
I think
go through the box.
I want to see what I got. You smoking these yawns, yo? Smoking these yawns.
Gotta get my yawns in.
You know what
today.
I'm saying?
Okay.
My approach with the yawns.
It's
I like to have a light color and a dark color.
Like ready on deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's fucked up about narwhals?
What's that?
The horn is a tooth.
It's a tooth?
It's a tooth.
Yo.
All this time.
So like, if he had like a toothache on his like horn, like what would that be? Like you just swimming through the water, just like, ow, this hurts.
He has a tooth shooting through his face. That's a nightmare.
That's what
Hey, you're a lefty too.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Double lefties.
Yep. I mean, we've had 2 kids so far. They're starting to present right-handed characteristics.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna have to.
Might be time to let him go.
Yeah. It's so hard to look at a duckbill platypus and be like, this was all planned.
One time I saw a video where they were like, the duckbill platypus is the equivalent of like when you go for a late night snack and you just put together whatever on a sandwich. Yeah. That's a duckbill platypus.
I dig it.
Tell me about the progression of Lineup Room over the years, like how you've grown and all that
we
stuff.
started from the bottom.
Okay.
And now we're here.
Yeah.
So we started in Parkville. It was just me as the main engineer. And I had a lot of relationships in the area. And I think it was like my 3rd attempt at going full time. I had done it before, but I hadn't, like, I would want to work on something else and I would get it 9 to 5 or whatever. But this time I think my wife was pregnant and it was like, okay, this one has to stick.
Yeah.
So I just did everything in my power to make it stick. I got super involved. I mean, I was already really involved with hip hop culture here, but just like really making an effort to go and be involved in things, you know? So now, fast forward, I don't know, 6 to 8 years, we've got 6 engineers.
Wow.
Not including me. 4 interns.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, we got 2 studios here at Maryland Art Place. So we're cooking. We're doing good. We are lucky to be super involved in the Baltimore hip hop scene, and I make stuff for people all over too.
Mm-hmm. So, taking a step even further back, what was it that, like, for you got you into hip hop in the first place?
So I got into hip hop when I was like 17, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was into video games,
Okay.
like most of the teens.
Yes.
And my brother, I was in bands in school, play guitar, and not school band. I should have been in school band, but I was not in school band.
Yeah.
And I needed some drums on something, and my brother got me this program, Fruity Loops.
Nice.
And that's how I learned to, breaking this ground too. I got into making beats from that.
Yeah.
And then, so I was 17 around when this happened. So like, this is like prime time party time in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept me out of so much trouble. I ended up like putting a studio in my basement and driving my parents crazy with noise, I'm sure. But like, the amount of my friends from high school that were in some sort of AA or rehab or recovery is,
man,
go hard on the yawns.
You do.
Go hard on the yawns. It's a lot. And I haven't had to deal with that, thankfully, because around the time where things started getting serious, I just always had music. Even when I was at college, I had a studio in my dorm room. Just always was something I was working on.
So yeah, it just kept you focused.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and even like, I never took college that seriously.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I'm doing hip hop. Like, I'm here, you know what I'm saying? But for real, I'm gonna do hip hop.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
You know what's up.
I would even like, be annoyed when people didn't take me seriously.
Yeah.
But how many people? I'm a producer. But and then it was less, and it was still a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess tell me about some of the like events and programs and stuff that you do around the area.
Sure. We did an event, Bmore Beat Club, for I don't know, like 5 years. It's on kind of a hiatus right now, I guess. And like when I first started in Baltimore hip hop, there were like 2 or 3 venues that we had access to.
Yeah.
Because it was associated with like everyone else's incorrect stereotype of Baltimore. So it was hard to get into places. And now it's so much easier, and one of the things that have changed that is Bmore Beat Club, the event that we did, like, because we took it to breweries and like we took it to a lot of different places that never did business with any hip hop crowds, and showed them that like this is not only something that can be lucrative, but it's something that A, should be a part of your programming.
Yeah.
And B, is something that's very much tied to the community here. Like, there's so many people that are involved in the hip hop scene, and like educators. It's just like there's so many people that are involved in it. So yeah, we did Beat Club for like 5 years. We worked with Red Bull.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a lot of sponsors. We're like, for as far as hip hop events, we're like really broke a lot of ground in terms of sponsoring or getting sponsors. And getting involved with the city,
Yeah.
We did Artscape like
That's
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, that's right.
And both times we're at like a large stage, which is
I
cool.
was gonna say that. I remember. I think it was the first year I'd stopped by,
Yep.
and that shit was popping.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was a big crowd.
Yeah.
It was a big crowd, and people like really got the event, which was cool. And it's like, we put more people on stage that year than like any single. We put more artists, hip hop artists, on Artscape that year than I would say like many other events have done.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a lot of new cats too, because I wanted to see how they would react to it, because I've had a lot of backstage experiences in terms of like what it's like in the hip hop industry. And we had a lot of younger cats with Beat Club that were super talented.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was cool to get them on that show. And then like we had like a backstage, like there was a trailer with like snacks and stuff.
Nice.
And it was just so cool to just sit back and watch them have their first like backstage experience, you know, like it was really special to be a part of that.
That's awesome, man.
And with Beat Club has always been just like you know, a big artist development event. And I know you've been, but like for anybody that isn't familiar with the event, producers play beats, MCs rap. We have like featured producers, but it's pretty much just that. And like as an MC, you don't know what beat's coming.
Yeah.
So you have like, if you suck, it's gonna be so obvious very quickly. But it's also like not like 8 Mile, in that if you suck, everybody's like, you suck.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, all right, give it up, you know, for so and so. Like the guys that have been doing it longer will kind of act as a buffer, you know what
Exactly.
I mean? And like take the younger guys under their wing, which is really cool. It's just, there's a lot. I mean, just in 5 years we were doing the event, and there's a lot of people that like got their start there, you know. And it's
and what I always thought was cool about it is just like that it starts like the conversation, right? Like,
yeah,
you'd go outside, like, as if I would, like, you know, head out from the event, like, there'd still be a ton of people just outside of Art Place, you know, just still, like, rapping with each other and talking and chatting and hanging out.
Yeah,
so.
That's what it was about, man. Like, even, like, with Lineup Room, I've provided an opportunity for a lot of engineers that I wanted to have when I got out of school or when I was ready. Like, I started my own studio because I couldn't get a job at another studio. So like now the engineers that work for me, like they have that opportunity. And then with Beat Club, it's the event that I wanted, like when I got involved in Baltimore hip hop, you know what I mean? Just like step one, here's some people to meet, everybody's friendly, you're gonna learn some stuff, you know?
Yeah. So what, like, you're saying it's, you know, on a hiatus and everything, what's your thoughts for the future of Beat Club?
Well, Beach Club is all about beach balls.
We get them beach babes and throw in the sand.
Yeah. So like last year, my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's fine, thank God.
That's good.
Yeah, and I was in the thick of you know, Studio Beat Club when that happened, and I just kind of flew into autopilot.
Yeah.
As a response, just like, okay, cool, like let's get her everything she needs done. You know, just keep the machine going, right? It was like the name of the game. And you know, I think around like the end of the year last year, it just all caught up with me, and I was like, I'm just like doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like I was like, and I didn't want to do it just because I felt like I should do it. You know? If it's not drawing a ton of passion, or if it's not a product of passion, it's not gonna be fun. And that's why it was fun. You know what I mean? So I've just been like kind of getting back to the basics of like working with artists in the studio, and just falling in love with that again. And with Beat Club, we'll see. You know what I mean? People ask me all the time, and I'm glad we're doing this, because then I could be like, okay, go look at that video at this point.
Exactly.
The 7 people that ask me. Everybody's asking. It's exhausting.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. My DMs are blowing up. Shut up already.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
So, guys, there you go.
But like I've been very busy with I'm doing a lot of stuff with MC Bravado. We'd have like a label necklace.
Okay.
And like the whole thing is like we were both teachers at the same school, high school. So it's like, and we keep running into these people that are like former educators now in the hip hop industry.
Yeah.
So it's like from that angle, you know what I mean? Like we like half of the stream profits from streams are gonna go to like Baltimore Boys and Girls Club, Beats Not Bullets, things like that. As just like a, you know, a way to give back.
Yeah.
And a way to have something structured the way we want it, where it's like, it's just because it's rap doesn't mean it can't be all these other things. And we're doing stuff with South by Southwest this year. Official South by Southwest, no like,
you're not just driving into town and
right. And I've done that a bunch of times. I love South by Southwest, but this year we're actually, you know, doing it for real.
Nice.
Which is cool, yeah.
Where do you think like Baltimore hip hop can grow more over the next few years?
That's a good question. I think there will continue to be more guys like, what's the guy's name? Shorty. There will be that guy. He's got like a gold hit right now. There will continue to be cats like that come from the city and tap into the national industry and succeed. And it's like the more that draws attention to the city, the better, you know? And it brings money to the musical economy here.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Beat Club that I was always trying to do, is like just bring more fans to the music here. Because more fans, more money, bigger music economy, can support more businesses like studios, like, photographers, people that do videos, all that stuff is like good for the the local music economy. So I think
exactly.
As long as there's stuff like that making noise nationally, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
As far as how it will translate to the industry here being larger, I don't know, but I feel like it can only help.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I'm committed to staying here as long as I can. I want our label based out of here, I want to be able to contribute to Baltimore,
Yeah.
because it's such a special town.
So if people are trying to find you on the socials or online or shit like that, how can they go about doing that, man?
If you want to learn about the studio, see pictures, lineuproom.com, Lineup Room on Facebook, Lineup Studio on Instagram. If you want to get some cool merchandise, labelnecklace.com.
Okay.
There's a lot more coming in that department. But yeah, tell your friends to record here. We care about your music. We actually do.
And then any other thoughts, any things you want to talk about, any things I might have missed, all that good stuff, man?
Shout out to my wife, and shout out to my 2 kids.
Holding the fort down.
Yeah. Being
Love
crazy.
It. Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been fun, dude.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to do this with me, man.
Thanks for sitting down. Thanks for chatting. And as per usual, we have our thank you gift of being on the show. A nice pog here, just for you. Yeah, man.
That's beautiful.
Straight.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Flex
much.
it into
How you gonna
oblivion.
give a pog and no slammer?
Cause I don't have.
Remember the slammers?
I remember. I have a couple of those, but I don't have.
Did you ever play them?
No, I didn't play them. I was too young.
I didn't play them. I had them.
Yeah, I had them too.
I was old enough.
Yeah.
I never once cared how to play it.
Yeah, I didn't learn.
Like, I gotta get the pogs. Gotta get a case from a pog.
I had the case.
Yeah, I need the slammer. Gotta have the slammer.
Yeah, I mean it looks cool.
Never once played with it.
Yeah, I guess the slammer. I mean, literally, you just throw it down, maybe.
Yeah.
And shoot out the other pogs. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't understand how one pog is better than another pog when it comes to performance. We should just read it up.
Yeah.
Let's do a follow.
I was gonna say,
learn the pog.
Let's sit down and
game.
just learn pog.
That's your other show.
Yes, that's what we should
Learning
do.
how to play pogs.
Exactly.
I'm gonna find that.
It's all good. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks again, Brandon, for being on the show.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. And we'll catch you next time, guys.
Peace.